For both Airbus and Boeing, 2022 was an exciting year, but it also threw many challenges, which is frustrating to say on its own. Over 70% of our viewers are not subscribed. Help us get to 20,000 subscribers by hitting that button. As an industry, we navigated the effects of the pandemic and moved towards full recovery. However, in February of 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, and the effects have been everlasting, hurting, in this specific case, aircraft manufacturers of Airbus and Boeing. So it's essential to compare the two and explore their performance. Without one or the other, the industry would not be the same. The pair continue to push each other and work to get the best out of their respective programs. 2022 was another year that Airbus retained the crown as the #1 aircraft manufacturer, a crown that they've had for many years now, spurred on by the lasting effects of the 737 MAX crisis at Boeing, amongst other difficulties experienced with their supply chain and the 787. It is a crown that Boeing once previously held for quite some time as well. An analogy often given is that of a supermarket chain and how they constantly battle it out for the most market share. The leading chain will reign supreme for many years, but then something gives and the other edges in the lead. Where there's much competition, this is always bound to happen as companies strive to outperform each other. Delivered 661 aircraft, this being shy of their target initially laid out of 700 units. However, one has to believe they probably would have reached this goal if it wasn't for their crumbling supply chain. Over at Boeing, they delivered 480 aircraft for the year, with 152 coming in the fourth quarter alone, aided once again by the reapproval of deliveries for their 787. This, though, is just shy of 200 less than Airbus. Why is this? Well, we've already explored very briefly some of the implications, including, say, a turbulent supply chain, and that's undoubtedly something Boeing felt. However, it is primarily spurred on by the reality that typically the 737 MAX carries its yearly deliveries alongside the 787. Usually the bulk of the widebody deliveries. The 787, however, for almost 75% of the year was barred from being delivered to customers, meaning Boeing could not get rid of the aircraft that they were producing, resulting in the numbers being inaccurate if it was, say, a well-performing year for the program. There were 22 deliveries that took place in the fourth quarter for the 787, but see, for the remainder of the year, only 9 further ones for that program took place. Most of this was also deliveries for already built aircraft that had been stored for a considerable period, while Boeing and the Federal Aviation Administration worked towards reapproving the series. Boeing's 737 MAX enjoyed a largely successful year with 387 deliveries, an undisputed strong return that is also being seen in regards to orders, with them reporting 561 737 MAX commitments during the calendar year, with ANA, Delta, the International Airlines Group, and Arajet all joining the family. The MAX's return was always going to ask many questions, and there was an element of unknown regarding its performance commercially once it was reapproved. However, customers have flocked back, and really the only grey area still remains in that of China. Over at Airbus, they were benefited from another strong year in terms of their programs, with each specific sector performing well in terms of deliveries, which were spread across their A220s to the A350s and onwards to the smaller 330. Behind the A320 family in terms of the most deliveries for the calendar year was that of the A350 with 60. Each aircraft program for Airbus also increased in deliveries year on year over 2021. Now for orders. Airbus reported 1,078 gross orders, extending their backlog to a staggering 7,239 aircraft to be delivered. These orders were spurred on by the resurgence in demand globally that sees airlines requiring such aircraft and looking to finally expand. While at Boeing, they reported 935 gross orders. It means that as of the 31st of December 2022, the plane maker has 5,430 unfilled orders, most of these being the 737 series, followed by the 787 Dreamliners, the 777s, and the 767s, with one singular 747. 2022 saw both aircraft manufacturers encounter struggles, but there were high points as well. Airbus continued to attract interest in the middle of the market sector with its A321 series, while over at Boeing, they were able to launch their 777-8 freighter and were widely successful with over 50 commitments in the first year. On top of that, they were able to move forward with getting the 787 reapproved for deliveries, a critical part in rebuilding the company. 2023 will be a big year for both, and we know we're excited to see where it takes two essential aviation companies that, without them, we simply wouldn't be where we are today, that's for sure. Now it's over to you. What are your biggest hopes in 2023 for these two manufacturers? You can let us know down below in the comments. We thank you very much for the support here on the channel and look forward to you joining us next time.